What's up everyone, Kaze no What If is here with What If Naruto had a leveling system. Before we start, if you like the video, like it, share with your friends, comment, and for the next we need to reach 5 likes, so let's start the video. Early morning, the next day. Naruto's apartment. Naruto had a look at his stats as he ate his breakfast. Name, Uzumaki Naruto. Class, the gamer. Level, 7. Next level, 19.89%. Title, Academy Student. Age, 12. HP, 900/900. CP, 900/900. STR, 18. STA, 38. Dex, 19. Int, 19. WIS, 20. Luck. Looking at his stats, Naruto felt a headache coming on. His stats had gone up by quite a bit compared with when he had first looked at them, but his stamina was still far and above the highest, while his strength stat had gone up by only 7. Hadn't he meant to do something about that? Wait a minute, ga. I knew I was forgetting something, the blonde orphan exclaimed. He ran into his bedroom and frantically searched through his clothes before finally finding what he was looking for. The training weights, he declared as he found the box he had bought at Higurashi's the first time. He opened up the lid and saw instructions. "Thank you for purchasing the Higurashi special training weights," Naruto read out loud. "In order to use these weights to their full potential, please ensure that you wear all 4 simultaneously to ensure equal training on all 4 limbs. Already knew that. Once you place the training weights on, make the rat hand sign. Channel chakra into the weights and call out a number from 1 to 5. This sets the weight to predetermined settings for your convenience. Newcomers are recommended to start on level 1 and build up to level 2 gradually." Okay, sounds simple. In order to turn the weights off, make the rat hand sign once again and say Kai. This will deactivate the weights immediately. Should it not, please bring them to the store for removal and a full refund. Naruto slid one on each of his arms and legs, then made the rat hand sign. 1. He immediately felt like someone had attached lead weights to his arms and legs. Not heavy ones, but very obviously there. An idea occurred to him and he opened up his screen and put the 5 points from the last level up into STR, making it 23, which helped in lightening the load a bit. Naruto walked around to try to get a feel for how hard it was to move with the weights on. Surprisingly, it was rather manageable, although he was slowed down somewhat. What now, he mused aloud as he sat back down and finished off his breakfast, a bowl of rice and miso soup. The academy wasn't on for the next couple of days, so what to do? Oh. I could train the jutsu Iruka-sensei taught me yesterday, he thought brightly. A smirk on his face as he recalled the trip to Ichiraku's that had shone a new light on the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu and his power. Flashback. A training aid? Naruto asked in surprise as he and Iruka-sensei were waiting for their ramen to be served. Yes, the scarred Chunin nodded. Originally, the Shadow Clone Jutsu was created for scouting purposes. How do you think the clones tell their creator information if only one hit dispels them? A really good life insurance. Naruto joked. Nice one, but no. Iruka replied with a grin. When you create a regular Bunshin, you're just creating an illusion that mimics your shape and appearance. When you create an elemental Bunshin, like your IWA Bunshin, you're basically forcing chakra into a physical object and shaping it, again, to become a facsimile of you. Shadow clones are entirely made of chakra, to the point that they copy your chakra network and brain as well. In addition, there is a link between the clones and the creator, so when a Kage Bunshin dies, the creator receives a portion of the chakra used to create the back. as well as an entire copy of the clone's memories from the moment it was created to the moment it was destroyed. Naruto gaped at Iruka for a moment. None of that was on the information his power had provided for him. Activating auto-update system. Working. Done. Learns about any jutsu or skill they possess not already in the basic description provided by the window will automatically be added and should that information increase the chakra cost of the jutsu, that will automatically be adjusted as well. That sound pretty awesome, Iruka-sensei. Naruto said, inwardly gaping at the recent update to his ability. This would rock. It is rather. Iruka agreed, but it is also dangerous. The information overload of as many clones as you made just now could overload your brain, knock you out and possibly cause brain damage if you receive them all at once. Try to only dispel 3 at a time if you can help it, okay? Sure thing. Naruto nodded, oh boy, here comes my ramen. Flashback end. Naruto opened up his skill window and then the window for the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. The Nidaime Hokage's Shadow Clone Jutsu is one of his most widely known jutsu and was originally created for scouting dangerous locations. All clones possess the same physical capabilities as the original, are equipped as the original and can also use any jutsu known to the original. All memories of the clones are transferred to the user upon their destruction, as well as a tithe of the chakra used to create them. The downsides to this technique are twofold. First, it is very chakra intensive, meaning only the more powerful Hyunin and Jonin can make use of this technique. Secondly, it only takes a single solid hit to dispel the clone, making it impractical as a genuine combat technique. Owing to your exceptionally dense chakra as an Uzumaki, the CP cost of each clone is reduced by 75%. Additionally, you receive 10% of the chakra from each clone once it is destroyed. Hand sign, clone hand sign. Initial cost for each shadow clone, 400 CP. Adjusted cost for each shadow clone, 100 CP. Chakra recovered after clone destruction, 10 CP. Holy crap! Naruto gaped, now I can only make 9 of them. This sucks. I need to learn chakra control. The only skill he had to do with that was the skill, but that didn't actually apply the chakra control to his chakra from what he recalled. So, a chakra control skill. Ah! How the heck do I make a skill like that? Naruto shouted, tugging at his hair with both hands, forget it. I'll practice with my Kodaki and Tanto. Thank Kami Tenten sold me these things. Heading to the dojo room, Naruto grabbed his practice weapons and examined them with practice weapon. Made by Higurashi Tenten, a kunoichi, this weapon has perfect balance and simulates the weight of a standard Kodaki perfectly. While not intended for actual combat, as the blade and point are blunt, this weapon can be used to protect yourself. Durability, 60/60ths. Bludgeoning damage, STR plus 15. Practice weapon. Made by Higurashi Tenten, a kunoichi, these weapons have perfect balance and simulate the weight of a standard Hirablade Tanto perfectly. While not intended for actual combat, as the edges and points are blunt, these weapons can be used to protect yourself. Durability, 45/45ths. Bludgeoning damage, STR plus 5. Man, Tenten has awesome skills to make these, he muttered incredulously. Deciding that as he would be getting his Tanto first, he would train with the 2 practice Tanto first as well. Putting the Kodaki to one side, Naruto held the practice Tanto in his hands as if to test their weight. Not as heavy as I'd been expecting, he muttered. Now then, how does someone fight with 2 blades? He tried out a variety of arm positions, but none felt right. In the end, he held both in a reversed grip and it finally felt something like correct. Creating some IWA Bunchin, Naruto sparred against them, finding that he was learning how to be comfortable with their weight in his hands as well as how best to swing and stab with the tanto. Eventually, as a result of repeated actions, the skill has been created. Naito Ryu is the art of using a sword in both hands in order to fight. It is an aggressive style, relying on speed and dexterity to dodge the attacks of the enemy. Most people use set styles to fight with, but you have created your own. At the very least, it will stop you from cutting yourself while you wield your weapons. In addition, tanto are designed to be used in very close proximity with the enemy, requiring highly advanced dodging and evasion skills to remain unharmed. Passively increases STR by 1%. Passively increases Dex by 2%. Actively increases damage with type weapons by 3%. Nice. Naruto grinned, oh. Feel the burn. STR has gone up by 1. That was quick. Man, these things are effective. Naruto grinned again, to know why more people don't use these. Yo. Naruto cocked his head to one side as he could have sworn that he heard someone shouting even more obnoxiously than he ever had. Shrugging, he returned to his training, this time taking up the Kodaki. Shorter than a katana, but longer than a wakizashi, Kodaki were seen as difficult to use, Naruto knew, thanks to Iruka-sensei's lecture the previous day regarding his chosen weapons. Kodaki were viewed with slight scorn and were seen entirely as a defensive weapon, earning it the name of the shield sword to those who practiced swordplay. However, Iruka-sensei had gone on to say, that was precisely why using it to attack with would be effective, as nobody would expect Naruto to do more than buy time while wielding his Kodaki. Acting in an unexpected manner was what Naruto did best, after all. After some training, during which he learned that being hit by the sword bouncing off the walls and onto his ankle was very, very painful, the came through for him once more. Kenjutsu, the art of the sword for the purpose of battle, is an ancient art dating back centuries. Most people use a formal style, but you have created your own. At the very least, you will not cut your foot off while wielding your sword. Kodaki are defense-oriented weapons, so you gain +1 int while wielding a Kodaki to reflect the superior defenses you possess. Passively increases STR by 2%. Passively increases Dex by 2%. Actively increases damage dealt by type weapons by 5%. Why do all of them imply that I'm clumsy? Naruto growled. Seriously, every self-taught style he came up with made it sound like he had 2 left feet and was drunk as a lord on top of it all. Whatever. He muttered and destroyed his protesting IWA Bunchin with his Kodaki. Time to work on his calligraphy. After he cleaned and stored his practice weapons, Naruto trotted back up to his rooms and settled down to start working when an idea occurred to him. Kage Bunchin no Jutsu, he commanded after he made the clone hand sign. 4 clones appeared in an explosion of chakra smoke and his CP dropped by almost half. Right. Let's get practicing, he ordered. Right, his clones echoed back at him and went to get some extra calligraphy supplies from his stock. It was a surprised Iruka who came and walked in on 5 Naruto clones working feverishly at his calligraphy. The scarred Chunin just looked for a minute as Naruto looked up and saw him. Ah! Iruka-sensei, the Naruto declared. Hey there! Iruka greeted the group in amusement, which of you is the original Naruto? That'd be me, all of them declared at once, before they glared at each other. Who's the original? I am, damn you, one Naruto declared. Like hell. I am, another retorted. Oh, now it's on. Much to Iruka's amusement, the 5 Narutos then got into a fist fight, ending with 4 of them vanishing, leaving the original looking irritated. Damn mouthy clones, he muttered, Are they supposed to do that? Act all mouthy and everything? It depends on the amount of chakra you put in them. Irika replied with a chuckle, unlike elemental clones, which have a fixed amount of chakra that they need to be created, as well as a limit to how much each clone can have before the material becomes full to bursting and collapses. Shadow clones become a closer copy of the original as more chakra is spent on them. Meaning they can even have personalities and be capable of independent thought if you invest enough chakra into them. Huh. Naruto looked thoughtful at this. Anyway, what's with the calligraphy? The Chunin sensei asked. Oh. It's so I can start learning Fuinjutsu. Naruto said with a grin. I found out that the Uzumaki clan was famous for their ability to use seals, so I thought I'd learn it too. So you decided on learning calligraphy? Smart. Irika said, let's see huh? Not bad. A little more and you'll be ready to try your hand at basic storage scrolls. Yada. Naruto cheered, before remembering something. Oh yeah, did you need? Am I not allowed to visit one of my students? Irika feigned hurt. Ah. No, that's not it. Naruto denied quickly. Just having you on Naruto. Irika ruffled the boy's hair. I came to see how you were doing. Just training. Naruto shrugged. It isn't like I have anything better to do. Irika nodded sympathetically. I see. Why don't you go to the library and borrow some books? The old lady at the library won't let me in. Naruto said glumly, and you need a library card to borrow anything, so I can't just henge into someone to borrow some. You sound like you've done that before. Irika observed. When I went to get calligraphy supplies, I henged into you. Naruto muttered. That's odd. Irika frowned. That did explain why the owner of the shop was surprised by him buying more, but there should be anti-genjutsu seals at the entrance to each store. No one should be able to enter them without the henge collapsing. Naruto blinked at this. That meant his henge wasn't just an illusion, it was solid. He'd forgotten about that. Maybe the seals need checked, he said with a shrug. Maybe. Irika wasn't convinced, but he let it go. If Naruto had to use the transformation jutsu just to buy basic supplies, then there was no point scolding him for it. Perhaps a word with the Hokage was in order though. Naruto had obviously gotten so used to this kind of treatment that it was no longer something he noticed anymore. I'll have a word with Hokage-sama about the librarian, he said instead. That attitude isn't one that someone in charge of the civilian side of the library should have. The Kanahagakure library was divided into two levels. One had the civilian library, with basic reading from fiction to non-fiction, as well as many copies of the Academy 3 Jutsu for those who wished to study them. The other was the shinobi section, which held copies of non-clan ninjutsu, taijutsu, kenjutsu, and genjutsu. A lot of them came from the archives of the Uchiha clan after they were massacred, from various enemy shinobi they had used their Sharingan on. The only way into the library was from a staircase guarded by two Chunin, and it led down under the civilian library. Naruto would be graduating in a few months' time, and having access to the library was vital for both before and after the graduation. Okay. Naruto nodded. In the meantime, why don't you go and investigate the next area of training, Field 13, the Scar Chunin suggested. I get the feeling that the chakra mutations are stronger there, so I'm planning on waiting until I get my Tanto before trying there. Naruto replied seriously. Caution? From Naruto? He's matured. Irika thought proudly. A couple of months ago, Naruto would have gotten himself into trouble by running headfirst into danger without a second thought. In that case, scour the areas you've already cleared for weapons and the like, he suggested. You found Toradora in one of the areas by happenstance, right? Now that you've eliminated the mutants in the first two areas, you can search to your heart's content for any kunai, shuriken and the like that might be there. I doubt you'll be lucky enough to find another regular weapon, but you never know. Awesome. I never thought about it like that. Naruto exclaimed, thanks Iruka-sensei. No problem Naruto. Iruka replied, no problem at all. Later. Sub-Area 1, Training Field 13. Naruto was quite pleased with himself. Thanks to his use of shadow clones, he had reached level 7 in already, in addition to creating and his had even leveled up once he beat the crap out of the 4 clones and dispelled them. If Naruto was any judge, with shadow clones, the longer they existed, the more experience he gained in the skill. He had no idea exactly how much EXP was made per minute or hour, but it had been enough to get his level 1 skill up to level 2. Maybe the 20-odd clones that he made yesterday had something to do with it? So creating and maintaining the clone dispersing and the chakra and memory return function all had something to do with how much experience received? Sounds like a theory. Still what the heck, he muttered as he looked around the sub-area. It looked exactly the same as before, except less intimidating. There wasn't that odd sensation that made the hair on the back of his neck stand up. Has leveled up? Ignoring that his skill had leveled up to level 9, Naruto made several IWA Bunjin and equipped them with Gansatsukan. Okay you guys, he called out to them, spread out and find any weapons, chests, or whatever looks like it doesn't belong here. Shout out if you find something. Got it, boss, the clones chorused back at him. At least IWA Bunjin don't talk back if you give them orders. Naruto thought in relief. For the next few minutes, all was well. Occasionally, a clone discovered a shuriken or a kunai and they were placed in Naruto's inventory. Then, what the whoa? Naruto exclaimed as the scenery around him blurred and he was in the middle of the sub-area, where he had fought the. He was accompanied by his confused and bewildered IWA Bunjin in short order. System is active. This can go off at any time and will drag you and any members of your party, including clones, into the. Which you may only leave if you either defeat the enemy or use the skill. I'll show you have fun you. Naruto muttered, but got distracted by a puppet appearing in front. It was about his height and had no face. It didn't look like a marionette or a bunraku puppet. What the heck was it? Level 8. A tree that has been possessed by a lingering evil chakra, it has transformed into a Makujin and will relentlessly attack any who go near it. Probably the residual chakra of the Kyuubi no Kitsune from the field boss. Naruto though darkly. Leaving the chakra out here was a bad idea. He should have done something before, and now there was a possessed tree on his case. Time to fell this tree, he declared, attack. With a roar, his IWA Bunjin squad charged through, which chattered a series of wooden clicks before countercharging very slowly. Naruto stayed at the back and lent support to his IWA Bunjin with his and occasionally his as well. The Makujin was slow, but had a ridiculously high defense. The Gansatsukan couldn't cut it and the punches were about as effective as bad language against it. Ditto for the kunai and shuriken. Use on it. Naruto ordered. That was the heaviest hitting jutsu in his repertoire and this thing was slow enough that it had a good chance of being crushed by the rock missile. 2 IWA Bunjin fell back and made the 2 hand signs that were for the earth jutsu before slamming their hands on the ground before them and calling out, Doton, Dangan no Jutsu. 2 large menhir erupted from the ground and sailed through the air to smash into the Makujin with the sound of splitting and splintering wood. The 2 IWA Bunjin crumbled into dust as they had used the last of their chakra. Defeated. You gain 125 EXP. Wyo. Naruto had to wipe his brow at the defeat of the Makujin. He wandered up as the body crumbled away, revealing a Bokuto. Naruto had to blurt out. It was indeed a wooden sword, designed for training with swords. Here? Training weapon. A wooden sword, carved from wood to train in swordplay. Sturdy as it is not really meant for combat situations outside of Randori, but in an emergency situation, it can be turned to a weapon of last resort for self-defense. Bludgeoning damage, S plus 10. Hey, not bad. Naruto commented as he deposited it in his inventory. He then found himself standing back where he had been before the random encounter, which was more disorientating than a sight along Shunshin. In the next half hour, he got dragged into 3 more fights with and came away with another, that added 1 to his stamina. Not that he needed it, and a pair of. The last one was confusing, until he realized that if he could find a cork stopped, he had a pair of homemade water bottles, which would save him a bit of money now. Where to find corks? The constant use of the had leveled it up to level 3, just as the constant use of Doton ninjutsu had leveled up his end Doton. Iwa Bunshin no Jutsu as well. The haul from the weapons search had yielded 10 kunao, 9 of which were good enough to be added to his stores, 12 shuriken, all of which were in good condition, and 1 chest. Upon opening that chest, Naruto discovered a scroll for a Fuin Jutsu. He read off of the window that appeared, Sealing Jutsu, Cloth Defense? What the heck? Meh. I can't use it yet, so into my inventory it goes. As he did so, he was dragged into yet another random encounter. Ah, for what now? Naruto exclaimed as he and his replenished Iwa Bunshin faced against what had to be a supersized Makujin. It was twice the height and breadth of Koji's dad. Level 12. A tree that was over 100 years old was infected with an evil chakra, turning it into an elder Makujin. Its strength is far greater than that of the regular Makujin. Dangan barrage, now. Naruto ordered hurriedly. This was not something he had expected. Why was a boss character showing up here and now? All 8 of his Iwa Bunshin sent out a broadside of Dangan at the elder Makujin, but it just walked forwards, smashing them out of the air like they were pebbles. Shit. It ain't working, boss, one Iwa Bunshin shouted. 4 of you get into close combat and keep its arms occupied. Naruto ordered, the rest of you attack with the Dangan again when the others have it distracted. The clones followed his orders. 4 of them created Gansutsukan and raced to distract the Makujin up close and personal, while Naruto and the other 4 made ready to attack with the rock bullet jutsu. The Makujin chattered a series of rattling wooden clicks and swung a large arm at the Iwa Bunshin, who dodged around it and started attacking the legs and what part of the torso they could reach with their staves. As the wooden monster smashed down in an attempt to smash the clones, Naruto and the others sent 5 Dangan at it, smashing into the sides of the Makujin one after another and sending it crashing to the ground. Immediately, the Iwa Bunshin clambered upon it and started stabbing it on the head and upper torso with kunao and Gansutsukan. Spread out and surround it? Naruto ordered. The reason why it had blocked all of the first barrage was that they all came from the same direction. Once the thing got up, it wouldn't have it so easy. As predicted, the elder Makujin wasn't finished just yet and stood up, the Iwa Bunshin tumbling off like specks of dirt and crumbling to pieces on impact with the ground. Now, Naruto ordered and 5 earth menhir ripped free of the ground and tore through the air at the elder Makujin from 5 different directions. The wooden monster was smashed to pieces and scattered all over the area, letting Naruto breathe a sigh of relief. Then, boss, it's multiplying. One clone shouted. Sure enough, 3 regulars sprouted from the smashed remains of the defeated Oh, for the love of ramen. Naruto grumbled. Ludicrously high defense, high strength, and the ability to spawn lesser versions of itself once defeated? Smash them, he ordered his clones, which they had done with gusto. Now that they knew how to defeat them, even multiple were not match for Naruto and his clones. In short order, the three wooden monsters were kindling. Defeated. You gain 1200 EXP. X3 defeated. You gain 300 EXP. All chakra saturation in sub-area 1 cleared. You gain 500 EXP. You have gained a level. LV7 LV8. You have 5 attribute points to spend. Has leveled up. LV4 LV5. Has leveled up. LV3 LV4. Has leveled up. LV4 LV5. Sweet, he commented. That one big Mokujin netted him as much EXP as Mogura Wagura had. The corpses of the three dissolved to reveal 3 more and about 1,000 Ryo altogether. The dissolved to show a single Buken, but not a regular one. It glowed with a golden light. Training weapon. A wooden sword carved from a Shinboku and blessed by a priest. Its divine aura repels lesser demons and brings good fortune to the one who wields it. Reduces from or enemies by 100%. Increase SB 25. Durability, 35/35. Bludgeoning damage, STR plus 15. I guess that's a useful thing to have. Naruto commented as he put it away. As he warped back to Sub-Area 1, he debated about whether to go on to Sub-Area 2. He decided against it as he was hungry. And he was low on chakra. That's that for today then, he muttered and headed out of the training ground. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, subscribe to my channel for more fan fictions like this, and goodbye.